Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking Mailtrain. You know, if you've been feeling the absolute squeeze of commercial marketing tools lately, where every single new sign-up starts to feel like a penalty rather than a win, well, you are definitely in the right place. We're going to take a close look at a self-hosted newsletter tool that literally frees your organization from the trap of escalating subscriber fees.
So let's dive right in with a number: 0. 0 is exactly the amount of subscriber-based licensing fees you're going to pay with this platform. Seriously, no matter how massive your mailing list gets, the software itself will never suddenly demand a bigger cut of your budget.
Here's our roadmap for today. 1. The subscriber pricing trap. 2. What is Mailtrain? 3. Core features and compliance. 4. Comparing the alternatives. And 5. The migration playbook.
Section 1. The subscriber pricing trap. Escalating costs of commercial tools.
Are you being penalized for growing your audience? Honestly, it's a deeply frustrating paradox. Think about it. Your entire goal is to grow your audience and build your community, right? But with traditional platforms, the better you are at doing exactly that, the more you are financially penalized. You cross into a new growth tier and, bam, suddenly your monthly bill skyrockets. It essentially turns your hard-earned success into a major financial liability.
Let's break down the real-world financial impact of that. Say you've got 10,000 subscribers. If you're using a commercial SaaS platform like Mailchimp, you're looking at paying hundreds of dollars annually for that list. But if you shift to a modest, self-hosted server running Mailtrain, your cost locks in at roughly $20 to $35 a month. Period. That is a massive chunk of annual savings that you can redirect straight back into your core mission.
Section 2. What is Mailtrain? The traditional self-hosted web app. So, if we're ditching those pricey commercial tools, what exactly are we replacing them with? Enter Mailtrain. Basically, it's an open-source, self-hosted newsletter application. It's built on a Node.js foundation, and crucially, there are absolutely no subscriber limits. This platform has actually been in active development since 2015 under the MIT license, and it is designed to do one thing exceptionally well: manage your campaigns without ever capping your success.
Now, what's a real game changer here is the comfort factor. Despite being entirely self-hosted and completely free to use, Mailtrain retains that familiar workflow your non-technical team probably relies on. It features a traditional web application interface and a drag-and-drop campaign editor, which means zero HTML knowledge is needed to build great emails. You also get custom fields and list segmentation, automated triggered or scheduled campaigns, detailed stats for opens, clicks, and unsubscribes, and it integrates seamlessly with major email sending services to make sure your messages actually get delivered.
Section 3. Core features and compliance. Built for data protection.
Because, beyond just designing beautiful emails, we really have to talk about how this tool handles your most sensitive community information. And this brings us to a fundamental shift: data ownership. By self-hosting Mailtrain, you take total, uncompromised control of your data. Your subscriber list isn't just sitting out there on some massive third-party commercial server. It lives entirely within your own self-hosted infrastructure. For organizations handling sensitive donor data, member records, or private campaign histories, this isn't just a nice perk, it's an absolute necessity.
And because you own all that data, Mailtrain makes it incredibly easy to build a robust compliance toolkit. It comes loaded with built-in GDPR compliance tools, consent tracking for European supporters, and localized data storage. Plus, if a subscriber ever requests their data, there's a seamless data export feature that makes it a breeze. Just keep in mind, with great data ownership comes great responsibility, so running regular, localized backups is completely essential here.
Section 4. Comparing the alternatives. Finding the right technical fit.
Now, it is super important to remember that Mailtrain isn't the only self-hosted option out there in the open-source world. So let's objectively weigh it against the competition. Take Listmonk, for example. Listmonk champions raw sending performance at a massive scale with a Go-based architecture and a highly minimalist interface. Mailtrain, on the other hand, uses a Node.js stack and a traditional drag-and-drop interface. So really, Mailtrain is the hero for teams prioritizing immediate familiarity and user-friendly design workflows, whereas Listmonk is for those who just want pure speed.
But hey, to be totally fair, we have to impartially note Mailtrain's limitations to make sure it actually fits your reality. It intentionally lacks the broad marketing automation features you'd find in a sprawling suite like Mautic. It also has a somewhat smaller community, which means fewer third-party tutorials floating around the web. And crucially, self-hosting is not entirely plug-and-play. You or your IT team are going to need some moderate technical comfort with Node.js, database administration, and Docker deployment configurations to get it running smoothly.
Section 5, the Migration Playbook, how to make the switch.
If the traditional interface, complete data ownership, and zero subscriber fees sound like a perfect match for you, here is exactly how your team executes the move. Step 1. Export your current subscriber list to a CSV file. Step 2, and whatever you do, please do not skip this, clean that list of any inactive or bounced addresses. Step 3. Configure your new email infrastructure and thoroughly test your deliverability. And Step 4. Run both platforms in parallel briefly, just to make sure Mailtrain is firing perfectly before you pull the plug on your old commercial account.
And the best part? This does not have to be some years-long IT headache. Most organizations can confidently wrap up a full migration in about 2 to 4 weeks. Day 1 is your Docker deployment and setup. By day 3, you're handling the CSV import and mapping your fields. Week 2 is dedicated entirely to testing deliverability. And by week 4, the full platform migration is complete. You are officially sending campaigns and, most importantly, done paying those pesky per-subscriber fees.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. If you are doing great work, your subscriber list is naturally going to keep growing. That's a given. But does your software budget really need to grow right alongside it? Take a hard look at your own infrastructure today, and I highly encourage you to explore the official Mailtrain documentation to see if making this switch is the right strategic move for your mission. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.